And welcome everybody into the WBGU 88.1 FM studio. I'm Dan Ridenauer, joined alongside Lucas Kleinmeyer for the pregame action that we have planned today. A Mid-American women's basketball match between the Western Michigan Broncos and the Bowling Green State University Falcons. We're going to take this one away now to Lucas. How you doing?
Dan, I'm doing good. I think this actually might be the first time you and I are in studio together for a broadcast. I could be wrong, but I'm excited for this one. Yeah, for sure. Adam Duffin is on the call there in Kalamazoo, made the trip up to Western Michigan. Should be an exciting one. Bowling Green going up against a very familiar head coach and Kay Octor, Hall of Famer, which I'm sure we'll talk a lot about. I know Adam will talk a lot about the broadcast as well, but definitely excited for this one. Bowling Green definitely looking to get back on track and get their third MAC win of the season.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you remember MAC play began with that huge win just against Kent State. You get that at home, then you kind of get a little bit of a fall getting upset by Eastern Michigan, then you have a little bit, but you are able to regain the momentum with that one against Northern Illinois. I know you traveled to that. Just kind of let's kind of analyze the team building off the previous game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you hit the nail around the head there. I mean, they kind of, if you looked at last year, you kind of would flip these results. There's a lot of parity in the MAC this year. They got a big win over the preseason favorites, Kent State, while Kent State has kind of struggled out the gate a little bit this season. And then you drop a couple of games against Eastern Michigan on the road, then Central Michigan at home. And the common theme in both those games, the common theme in losses is you're not shooting the ball well. And especially in that Central Michigan game, as a team, they didn't shoot the ball well. That's what head coach Fred Shamil's been talking about. All the assistant coaches post-game have harped on as well. You got to shoot the ball well, got to make your shots. But then, yeah, coming off that win against NIU, was it the best performance this season? Absolutely not. NIU won the first quarter, but after that, Bowling Green was the better basketball team last three quarters. It was a team win. Multiple Falcons got in the double-digit scorings, and then once again, it was Kendall Moxley there leading the way in points for the Falcons. She has had her best games as a basketball player, but also her best games as a Falcon in back-to-back games against Central and NIU. Looking forward to see how she does here, along with the rest of the team kind of just building that momentum against Western Michigan, because after this game coming up, they got a tough three-game stretch against Ohio, Miami this weekend, Miami, Ohio, and then UMass.
And that's going to be definitely a one to process and one to look at, but obviously looking at this Wednesday night to begin with and what this game will mean. When we come back, we're going to get into the swing of things, everything important, the kind of behind the scenes of the actions, talk a little bit about the Mid-American Conference and what it means for Bowling Green, but do not go anywhere. We will be right back here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For over 70 years, WBGU-FM has been supported by Bowling Green State University, providing educational experiences inside and outside of the classroom that enhance the lives of all students, other stakeholders, and the many publics they serve. BGSU students are prepared for lifelong career growth, lives of engaged citizenship, and leadership in a global society. Visit bgsu.edu for more information.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM. This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
And thank you, Tyler, for that. You are back in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio, where myself, Dan Ridenauer, and Lucas Kleinmeyer are going to get into the in-depth analysis of the game. I know he's got some keys to the game, so take it away, Lucas.
Yeah, indeed. And we'll start with Western Michigan for the away side. I mean, this is a team that is 5-9 this season. They're coming off that loss against Toledo, but they had a back-to-back MAC wins against Buffalo and Akron, the two teams they should beat. But besides those two teams that are kind of in that lower level of the conference this year, they've been kind of the basement dwellers, if you will. But Western Michigan hasn't been all that great as well. But if you're the Broncos, if you can stop Paige Kohler and Donahue from getting hot from scoring early in this game, you're going to set yourself up early to succeed. If you get out to a quick start, Bowling Green has shown that they've kind of struggled to kind of come from behind. Sometimes they dig themselves too big of a hole to come back from. So what does that mean? You got to out-rebound. You got to create turnovers, and you got to knock down your shots. For a Western Michigan Broncos team, that is the second worst scoring team in the MAC. They're averaging just 2 more points than NIU, the team that Bowling Green just faced. So they're facing the 2 worst scoring teams in the MAC. But for the Broncos, if you get that fast start in the first quarter and then you lead into the second, you'll put yourself in a good position. And it'll be by committee. There's no Marina Asensio like they had this past year. Kate Octor has Kaylee Starks, who she brought over from Detroit Mercy, who is the leading scorer for the Broncos. But besides that, it's been more of a team by committee. They had a couple players that can score, but it's just a matter of who is going to step up. Now, for the Falcons, it's almost an opposite in terms of just get hot early, knock down your easy shots early, get that confidence going. If you shoot the ball confidently, that's going to translate throughout the game. This is a Western Michigan team that is the worst turnover margin in the MAC, -4. And guess who Bowling Green has? Janaea Donahue. So Donahue can get some steals, create some easy transition baskets, capitalize on that, turn the defense into offense, which is Bowling Green's identity this year. This is what they wanted to do. Then they're going to be successful. And then obviously the rebounding battle is going to be huge as well. Kendall Moxie, if she continues to form what she's been in the past couple games and grabbing boards both offensively and defensively, that's going to bode the Falcons very well. But main point, get your shots going. Knock down those big shots going. And also, I wrote about this in our preview for BGFalconmedia.com. Get Paige Kohler going from 3. She is the primary scorer. She's the face of this team. Mm-hmm. She's not going away. She is the floor general for head coach Fred Shamil. She's only made 2 threes in her last 2 games, 4 in her last 4. Get her going for 3. Get a couple, get that confidence back underneath her belt.
Exactly. I mean, you talk about that number 10 out there, just scoring-wise, averaging 14 points a game so far this season. You kind of talk a little bit about the rebound side of things and just what she's been able to do. I mean, 59 rebounds so far this season, 48 of those defensively, which if you're able to outmatch that to a Western Michigan offense that it seems kind of almost stagnant almost from kind of what we've been hearing is going to be really important for them. But also, too, just taking a look at the MAC standings right now, Ball State leading the conference. They're tied with Miami, and then OU, 2 teams that you're mentioning, BG has on their schedule coming up, and then also Massachusetts and Central Michigan. Bowling Green having won over that school up north, but they are tied right now. Just the overall record gives the Falcons that advantage. Then you're seeing that Western Michigan spot just right below them. So those 3, both 500 in the conference, and knowing that you're going to want to be fighting because any game in the MAC you can't take lightly. You got to take them all serious.
Indeed, and we mentioned it. The next 3 for Bowling Green are very, very tough opponents. Ohio and Miami have all taken a gigantic step forward, and then you're facing a UMass team that's brand new to the MAC this year. It's also worth knowing that this is a Western Michigan team that is just 3-3 at home this season. They did have a tough non-conference, and a lot of that non-conference was on the road. But they finished ranked in Michigan State, Indiana, Ohio State, University of Dayton. They're battle-tested in the non-conference play. Yes, a lot of those are on the road, but even the ones they've had at home, like Dayton, like these other schools such as Roosevelt University, which they lost to in overtime, they haven't gotten the job done. So for the Western Michigan side, they're going to want to get a win over their home fans and go to 3-2 in the MAC play because while they're 5-9 overall, they both have the same conference record. So like you're saying, Dan, no easy games in the MAC. Anything can happen. And for Bowling Green, they don't take care of business there. They could be sitting at 2-3 before heading into a big stretch. But I do believe head coach Freshman has got these girls ready to play.
Well, and I mean, a big part that we see in MAC play, too, is it's not always just kind of almost consistent, if that makes sense. There's a lot of ups and downs, and you kind of have to almost ride that roller coaster. I mean, seeing that with BG, I mean, they have the nail-biter to Kent State. They were leading at some points. Kent State kind of had the early momentum, which, I mean, the early momentum and the shooting has been 2 struggles for BG so far this season, so we'll see how that correlates into today. And then, you talk about Eastern and CMU just going up to the state of Michigan this season has not been successful for the Orange and Brown, but then you talk about going to DeKalb, Illinois, and that was being successful, so now you're back in Kalamazoo looking to get the victory here. So just kind of like as we look at everything, kind of just make the stamp of this game. What would you say, Lucas, is just kind of that number one thing that you need to just make your mark on? Is it the shooting? Is it, starting early? Or is it looking at, Western Michigan, a team that's kind of just been struggling so far this season with the turnovers?
Well, I did touch on kind of the shooting and, making your open shots and getting out to a fast and early start. But one thing I do want to really mention and put the stamp on is just overall confidence. And I think sometimes you go through these games where you might go through these stretches. Basketball's a game of runs. You might go through these stretches where the shots are just not falling. And a lot of times this season, the three ball just hasn't been going for Bowling Green. But sometimes they've won the battle in the paint, which has been a very, very common theme this season. I just want to see some confidence early, but also confidence throughout the game. I don't want to see heads go down, don't want to see slumped shoulders, because I think sometimes you've seen that sometimes when these games, when those shots are not falling. So for Bowling Green, even if you're not off to that fast start, even if you're not getting the start offensively as you wanted, don't panic. Don't panic. Keep going. Trust in your defense and trust that you can grind out a result against a Broncos team.
Exactly. Just do not panic. A great just advice to give. So real quick before we take some promos and then we go out to our good friend Adam Duffin, who is in Kalamazoo, we're going to take a look around the Mid-American Conference. Currently, Buffalo and Ball State have concluded the first quarter. The Cardinals leading the Bulls 24-14. And then a lot of 7 p.m. games tonight. Eastern Michigan traveling to Millett Hall to take on the Miami Redhawks. That will be a 7 p.m. game. Kent State, Ohio, another 7 p.m. game. The Falcons in Western Michigan is another 7 p.m. game, and then to finalize the 7 p.m. time slot here on this Wednesday night is Northern Illinois and that school up north. And then finally, we have a game that has concluded today, which is Akron and Massachusetts. The Minutemen will get the 82-68 victory over the Zips. But that's going to be all the time we have for Lucas and myself, so let's send it on over to Adam Duffin, who is in Kalamazoo. Adam, how's it going?
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Lucas, for an excellent pregame show as Bowling Green travels to Kalamazoo to take on the Western Michigan Broncos. As mentioned earlier by Lucas, Western Michigan is averaging 56 points per game, second lowest in the MAC, and also allowing the fourth most at just under 68 points per game. Their last game they played was a 59-46 loss on the road against Toledo on Saturday, and Western Michigan trying to turn it around tonight with the Welcome Back Bash, free rally towels for Western Michigan students as they return back to classes this week. And they're led by head coach Kate Ochter, who has done a great job of turning around some programs such as Detroit Mercy and Loyola Chicago, and she played at Bowling Green back in the day, the all-time leader in assists for the Falcons with 688 and free throws made with 551, and a member of the 2018 Bowling Green Hall of Fame class as she's in her first season coaching the Western Michigan Broncos. The leading scorer for Western Michigan is Kylie Starks with her 10.9 points per game. Obviously, with a new coach, it takes time to form an identity offensively, and Kylie Starks has been leading the way points-wise. She's also joined by Deanna Richardson with her 9.1 points per game and second on the team with 5.3 rebounds. As those two are starters, the rest of the starting lineup, Allie Carlson and Allie Harness, a senior and sophomore combo, and Ariana Wilkes rounding out the starting five. On the other end, Bowling Green coming off a bounce-back victory over Northern Illinois. And their starting five consists of Kaya Woods, Janea Donahue, Paige Kohler, Taya Ellis, and Lauren Gherkin. Paige Kohler for the Falcons, averaging 14.4 points per game heading into tonight's Wednesday night action. She is the 7th leading scorer in the MAC. And Lucas mentioned earlier, Janea Donahue is poised for a big night as Western Michigan turns the ball over a lot, and Donahue averaging 4 steals per game, also leading the team with 3.8 assists per game so far this season. As the Falcon 5 head over to center court, Taya Ellis will be the one doing the tip-off. And across from her is Ariana Wilkes, the 6'2 forward out of Columbia, South Carolina. We're ready to go underway. And the tip goes into the hands of Allie Carlson. Carlson passes it over to the wing. Starks back to Carlson. Carlson drives to the right elbow, kicks it back out. Drive towards the free throw line by Starks. Gave it back out to Richardson. Carlson pass it back out to Harness. Harness turns it over underneath. Paige Kohler dribbles it down the floor for the Falcons. She gives it to Lauren Gherkin in the left corner, and Gherkin misses that one before Kaya Woods got tangled with Allie Harness underneath the basket. Harness put her arms up and put Kaya Woods almost in a headlock. The inbound pass is over Donahue's head. Donahue tried to save it from going out of bounds. Instead, hits off the feet of the camera person to my right. As the Falcons have had a lot of slow starts throughout the season, no matter who they've played. And now, Allie Carlson gives it over to Harness. Harness, left side of the floor, passes it over to Starks. Starks, right side of the lane, finishes it over Janea Donahue. 2-0 now after the first minute of action in Kalamazoo. Kaya Woods brings it down the floor before tossing it to Paige Kohler. Kohler dribbles it around to Nay Donahue. Donahue gave it to Kohler, got it back before Lauren Gherkin from the right wing hits that three. Lauren Gherkin missed the first three-point attempt she had there. Shoots it confidently, making it 3-2 for the Falcons. Now Carlson passes to Richardson. Over to Harness, who misses that three just long. Long rebound, thrown back from Richardson all the way to Starks near the half-court logo. Carlson drives, left side of the lane, has the ball tipped, goes off her knee, and it's going to be Falcon basketball. Three to 2. Just about 2 minutes through the action here. Kaya Woods hands it off to Kohler on the right side of the floor. Kohler drives the free throw line, stops. Ball is swung around to Donahue in the left corner. Donahue drives, had it stolen away. Carlson brings it down the left side of the lane, stops, kicks. Ball is swung around to Harness in the right corner. Ball is swung all the way to the left corner to Allie Carlson, who hits that three. Good ball movement there by the Broncos, and they regain the lead, 5-3 with 7:30 to go in the first. Lauren Gherkin faked the three on the left wing. Donahue backdoor pass to Kohler. Kohler baseline. Kaya Woods in the left corner for three, and she hits. Kaya Woods gives Bowling Green the lead again, 6-5. So the Falcons, they have been in lots of close matchups throughout the season, as there is going to be an illegal screen there on Ariana Wilkes. And Falcons will have the basketball as the substitution is made into the game. Nile Mukaira subs into the ball game for Western Michigan. Now the Falcons with the basketball. Nate Donahue fakes a backdoor pass to Kohler, gives it to Gherkin. Now over to Kaya Woods on the left side of the floor. Woods drove, backed out. Ball swung left side. Paige Kohler has her three fall just short. Rebound underneath. Nate Donahue bobbled it, got it out. And a foul underneath on Taya Ellis, as we'll have a short radio identification break.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Out of the break, pass down the floor from Mukaira down to Kylie Starks, and she'll get a trip to the free throw line. Appeared the foul was on Kohler, and it will be on Kohler. Ariana Wilkes goes to the free throw line, shooting 26.8% on the season, but hits the first run. Previously, she was at High Point University, and so far this year, 5.2 points per game and 5.2 rebounds per game. And the second free throw gets help and goes down, as that makes it 7-6 Western Michigan over Bowling Green. As we near the halfway point through the quarter, Kohler gets the ball left wing, immediately shoots and hits that three. Paige Kohler gets it going from outside, exactly what they talked about in the pregame show from Dan and Lucas. 9-7 now, Bowling Green leading. Allie Carlson directing traffic for the screen from Starks. Stops at the free throw line, passes out to Harness. Harness drives free throw line, kicks outside, drive to the basket, kick out. Wide open three. Allie Carlson hits another one from beyond the arc. She's up to 6 points, and it's 10-9 Western Michigan. Falcons quickly brought it down the floor and passed it around. Kaya Woods backdoor to Donahue. Donahue mid-range shot short. She gets her own rebound and then gets fouled underneath. Good hustle play by Janea Donahue. Donahue having an excellent season for the Falcons, leading them in assists and steals, but then second on the team with 12.4 points per game, just 2 points on average behind Paige Kohler. Donahue hits the first free throw. Not too much of a shocker, as she is shooting over 82% from the line halfway through the season. With the score knotted up at 10, Donahue misses the second free throw, and it will remain tied. Carlson brings the ball up the floor for the Broncos, passes it right corner, fake shot and a travel as Nile Mukaira started run with the basketball as she drove towards the middle of the lane. Turnover for Western Michigan. Their fourth turnover already in the ball game. 5:20 mark as Bowling Green wearing orange, Western Michigan wearing white. Paige Kohler gets a handoff from Lauren Gherkin, but they call an offensive foul as Kylie Starks tried to follow through the screen and got bumped. Carlson brings it down the floor, pass it over to Mukaira on the right wing. Richardson gets the ball over to Starks. Starks dribbles around the perimeter. Ball's finally taken inside. Mukaira goes with authority in the paint, making it 12-10 Broncos. Donahue thought about driving, took it back out, then attacks again. That shot off the front of the rim and rebounded by Mukaira. Right wing, Starks drives, kicks it out. Open shot, but then taken inside and missed by DeBarbure as she subbed into the game. Kaya Woods gives it to Kohler in the left corner. Falcons continue to move the ball. Paige Kohler, right corner. Takes it back out, 12 on the shot clock as we hit the 4-minute mark in the first quarter. Kohler uses a screen from Moxie, who subbed in the ball game. Kohler, left corner. Donahue, her three's too far. And the shot clock expired. It should be Western Michigan ball when we get back as we hit this media timeout. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. Western Michigan 12, Bowling Green 10. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
There's so much more WBGU content available online through our social media profiles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to our feeds to get the most up-to-date information about the program schedule, show hosts, and upcoming promotional events. Return to Radio Freedom with WBGU on 88.1 FM and online social media profiles.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame, halftime, and postgame show for every BGSU men's and women's basketball broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM or Falcon Radio, also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
At the Stro or on the road, the Falcon Media Sports Network is covering the Falcons all season.
Welcome back to Kalamazoo as Western Michigan leads Bowling Green 12-10. As there is 3:49 remaining in the first quarter. I'm Adam Duffin, joined alongside by the Falcon Media Sports Network crew of Dan Ridenauer and Lucas Kleinmeyer back in the Coolene Center studio. As Bowling Green so far, Kaya Woods has hit a three, Paige Kohler has hit a three, Lauren Gherkin has hit a three, and Janaea Donahue has added a free throw into the mix. For Western Michigan, Allie Carlson's leading the way with her 6 points on 2 3-point makes. And out of the timeout, they do say the shot clock expired and that Western Michigan will have possession. Deanna Richardson will inbound the ball to Gura as she hands it off to Carlson. Carlson pressured out on the perimeter by Woods. Falcons making adjustments out of the timeout. Carlson still finds a way to get open, and her three is short as she was wide open off of a screen. Rebounded down low by Gherkin, who gave it to Paige Kohler as Bowling Green goes on the counterattack. Gherkin gets it on the right side of the court, gave it back to Kohler. Donahue now drives free throw line. Kohler handoff to Woods, 8 on the shot clock. Kaya Woods spins inside and somehow gets it to go in over 2 Bronco defenders. And this game's tied at 12. I have no idea how Kaya Woods got that shot off. Standing at only 5'3", she has some acrobatic finishes. Allie Harness, the other Allie of the starting 5, passes it underneath, swatted away by Kendall Moxie. She took Wilkes' shot down low and sent it back to the floor. Falcons bring it down the floor. Lauren Gherkin to Kaya Woods, over to Kohler, who drives, left elbow, spins out. Gherkin faked the three. 10 on the shot clock now. Falcons get it down low to Kendall Moxie. Moxie with 4 to Donahue with 1 on the shot clock, spinning mid-range just off the iron and rebounded by Mugura. Carlson on the right wing, passes it down low. Ball goes out as 3 BG defenders were in the area, and Harness just misses that one. Rebounded down low by Donahue. Donahue up to Kaya Woods. Woods to Moxie down low. Moxie powers inside and gets that one to go, and Bowling Green regains the lead. 14-12 as Kendall Moxie got that one to go. She's had back-to-back double-double performances and has been playing more minutes than all season long as of late. Now Harness passes it down low, stolen away by Paige Kohler. It's the Falcons trying to go on a rally to end the first quarter. Kaya Woods drives left side of the basket, has it just fall short. Carlson with the rebound, going in transition for the Broncos, but stolen away by Donahue. Donahue has Carlson behind her. She's slowed down, but it's tipped away. It will remain BG basketball as Donahue very frustrated she didn't finish that layup attempt. And Jonaya Bland-Fitzpatrick subs in for the Falcons, taking the place of Kaya Woods. Ball inbounded underneath to Kendall Moxie. Easy layup from the right side as Mary Claire Brusick did not have the positioning on that one. 16-12, Bowling Green leading with 50 seconds to go. Mugura underneath. Passes over to Starks. Starks gets called for the charge as Mae Donahue planted her feet and Starks tried to go all the way to the basket. Now Jasmine Fern will sub into the game as Donahue comes out. Appears to be okay after the charge. Only 37 on the game clock, 22 on the shot clock. Pass down low to Moxie. Moxie caught it underneath and gets called for a travel. She can't believe it. And now I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Head coach Fred Shamil for the Falcons was screaming for a substitution, and she gets it as Kira Miller will come in for Paige Kohler, as this could potentially be the last full possession of the quarter, as only 2 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Richardson for the Broncos from the left wing misses that three. Long rebound. Kylie Starks gets it. Now Allie Harness takes a shot from the right wing, misses, and foul underneath from Claire, as the Falcons will get the ball back with 12.6 on the shot clock, and they will head into the bonus as Lauren Gherkin was the one boxing out underneath. Lauren Gherkin had a double-double in the season opener against Louisiana, but since then has had issues shooting efficiently in and out of the starting lineup, but hits the first free throw here. Gets her up to 4 points in the night, also has a rebound. And Gherkin hits the second free throw as well, as Bowling Green now leads 18-12. Trying to break out of the first quarter struggles they've had throughout the season. Now in the backcourt, double teamed, passed up ahead, and now an open corner three. Starks misses that one. Harness with 3 on the shot clock. Middle of the lane, gets it to go at the horn. And Western Michigan breaks out of the shooting slump they had to end the first, and it's 18-14 after the first here in Kalamazoo. Bowling Green leading the way. You are listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to rain.org That's RAINN.org to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Kalamazoo as Bowling Green leads Western Michigan 18-14 after the first quarter of play. Leading the way for the Falcons is Kaya Woods with her 5 points, Lauren Gherkin also with 5, Kendall Moxie adding in 4. For the side of the Western Michigan Broncos, Allie Carlson has 6 as she made 2 threes early on in that first quarter. And the Broncos at the very end of the quarter, from the other Allie in the starting lineup, Allie Harness, was able to get a nice mid-range shot to go down. Bowling Green has had it throughout the year, the slow first quarters, even against Northern Illinois on Saturday. They started out slow. They were down after the first quarter against NIU, a team on paper they should have been up against the whole game, and doing a better job in the first against Western Michigan. So far, the Falcons 5 turnovers to Western Michigan's 8, as it was not an ideal quarter for either team when taking care of the basketball. Some travel violations, some bad inbound passes, not what you want at all if you're Fred Tramiel or Kate Octor, the 2 head coaches for these MAC foes. Bowling Green will have the ball to start the second quarter. Paige Kohler, Nate Donahue, Kaya Woods, Kendall Moxie, and Bland Fitzpatrick are the 5 for the Falcons. Kendall Moxie on the right block, passes it out to Kohler. Kohler gives it right back. Moxie fights inside, tried to go up, but is called for a travel violation, her second of the game, as she battled underneath, and Taya Ellis will immediately come into the game. Took just 19 seconds for Fred Tramiel to not like what he saw for the Falcons. Allie Carlson brings it down the floor for the Broncos, and her pass off target. Miscommunication between her and Harness, as Bowling Green will get the ball right back. Dribbling down the floor, Paige Kohler, 7th leading scorer in the MAC, gets a dribble handoff, goes to the basket, falls through some contact, and doesn't get the call. Richardson got the rebound, gave it up to Carlson as the Broncos switch back to offense. Starks over to Wilkes. Wilkes, as the Broncos continue to move the ball, left elbow underneath. Starks spinning, finds an open Carlson, and Carlson misses that 3. Long rebound. Kaya Woods gets it underneath the smallest player on the floor. She continues to bring it in transition. Nate Donahue drives right side and finishes it strong, and 1. Jonea Donahue. Janiyah Donahue gets her first made field goal of the ball game, as she was 0 of 4 before that bucket. Her free throw attempt is good, as it is 21-14 in favor of the Falcons. Now down the floor, Harness passes it to Richardson before Carlson gets it on the left wing. Carlson trying to find Wilkes down low. Ball is given over to Starks on the right side of the court. Taya Ellis is not letting Ariana Wilkes get the ball underneath. Carlson now, 5 on the shot clock, gives it to Starks, and Starks began moving and called for the travel violation. Just picked up her feet a little too fast. And now another turnover for the Broncos. Kohler uses a screen from Taya Ellis. Ellis gets the lob pass, spins out down low, looking for help, gives it to Kohler. Kohler wraparound pass to Kaya Woods, left side of the floor. Woods falls down, tries to pass it from the floor, and the ball is still loose before a kick ball is called. As they're going to most likely call it on Kaya Woods. It appeared that she stuck her leg out to try to keep possession as the Falcons will press up. Allie Carlson brings it down the floor for Western Michigan. Magura passes it down low to Wilkes. Wilkes to Starks. Starks, a good step-through move, but misses it just underneath the basket. Taylor got the rebound for Bowling Green as they attack up the floor. 7:30 to go in the second quarter. Bowling Green leading 21-14. Tay Ellis gets the ball underneath, passes it back out to Donahue. Donahue drives, looking for help now, finds it in Kaya Woods. Woods to Ellis, 6 on the shot clock, and Tay Ellis loses possession as the Falcons are trying to be aggressive down low. But Tay Ellis and Kendall Moxie have been turning the ball over, and now Ellis comes out of the game for Lauren Gherkin. Head coach Fred Tramiel might use the strategy of keep subbing out people until someone's able to score down low. Allie Harness has the ball on the right side of the floor for the Broncos. She gives it to Magura. Magura to Starks. Starks hands it off to Harness. Harness dribbling middle of the lane, tries a little floater, missed. Janaea Donahue brought it down the floor, lost it, and jump ball. And the possession arrow favors the Broncos as another silly turnover for the Falcons. As that is the 7th turnover already for Bowling Green. And the score is still 21-14 favoring the Falcons. Harness, pass over to Starks. Starks to Carlson on the left wing. Starks gets it right back in the left corner and hits that three. Falling down, she hits it from the corner. And it's 21-17. Bowling Green's lead cut down to 4. Lauren Gherkin gets the ball on the right elbow. Hands it off to Donahue. Donahue to Woods. Woods lets a three go. Has it fall short. Longer rebound. Now Carlson passes it in transition to Harness. Harness back to Carlson. Some hot potato going on in the corner. And Allie Harness has her three go too far. Bland Fitzpatrick gets the rebound and brings it in transition for Bowling Green. Kaya Woods gives it to Lauren Gherkin, left wing, and Lauren Gherkin hits the three. Her second three so far in this one. (24-17) now for Bowling Green. And now drive to the basket by Magura. Goes too far. And possession arrow for Bowling Green as it just went out of bounds. Short stoppage by the referees and now a late sub for the Falcons. There's some confusion there. Kendall Moxie comes into the ball game. Same with Kira Miller. Miller gets the ball on the right wing, pass it to Gherkin towards the free throw line. Gherkin backdoor to Woods. Woods had it stolen away. Now Carlson one-on-one with Gherkin. Doesn't fully drive to the basket, instead passes it out to Magura. She misses it long. Paige Kohler gets the rebound. Kohler takes it right side of the lane, stops, but just misses the open layup. tipped out of bounds off the hands of Starks. And Bowling Green will retain possession as we head into the media timeout. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, proud creators of Ale Ziggy Zumba, a light ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics and available at Juniper Brewing Company on South Main Street and Northwest Ohio Kroger stores. Details at juniperbrew.com. Bowling Green leading 24-17 over Western Michigan. You are listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Mark Zaborny here, host of WBGU-FM's Jazz Unlimited. Listen to Jazz weekdays from 9 a.m. until noon with special live in-studio editions every Wednesday. I'll spin classic jazz standards and the latest jazz releases. That's Jazz Unlimited, weekdays from 9 until noon on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage live on 88.1 FM and streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to Falcon women's basketball as Bowling Green leads 24-17 over Western Michigan. Adam Duffin joined alongside by Dan Ridenauer and Lucas Kleinmeyer from the Cooling Center studios. As so far for the Falcons, Lauren Gherkin has 8 points. And Bowling Green has been in control ever since about the midway point of that first quarter. And the Falcons are ready on the court, waiting for the Broncos to come out of their huddle. Kira Miller, Kaya Woods, Paige Kohler, Lauren Gherkin, and Kendall Moxie are the Falcon 5 on the floor. Bowling Green will have possession underneath the basket as they go left to right on your radio dial. .20 on the shot clock as Kohler's ready to inbound. Kohler bounces it into Gherkin, and she's called for a travel violation as soon as she caught the ball. Another frustrating turnover for BG. Carlson continues to be the point for the Broncos squad as Magura passes it into Starks. Starks spinning down low, trying to find space, and she does as Kylie Starks hits it underneath. 24-19. Bowling Green's lead cut to 5. Falcons swinging around. Paige Kohler brings it back out, hands it off to Woods. Woods, hand off to Gherkin. Gherkin thought about it, passes it right back. 10 on the shot clock now. Woods at the free throw line spinning, looking for help. Loses the ball. 3 on the shot clock. Now a deep three-pointer. Kaya Woods has it go off the backboard. And a shot clock violation as Bowling Green has had a rough second quarter from the offensive end, as they have 7 turnovers in the quarter, 12 overall this game. With shot clock violations, travel violations, it's been frustrating. Now Western Michigan 10 turnovers of their own. Brings it down the floor. Magura passes outside to Starks. Starks drives, passes it underneath. Emily Cecil comes away with it for Bowling Green now. Cecil in transition, hands it off to Donahue. Donahue gives it right back. Emily Cecil for three. She hits it. Emily Cecil comes in the game and immediately puts an end to the scoring drought for Bowling Green. 27-19 now. Starks on the left wing uses the screen from Richardson. Now passes outside. Magura dribbles towards the free throw line. Now try to do a lob pass underneath. And Wilkes could not corral it as it's a turnover. Bowling Green 27, Western Michigan 19 with 3:10 to go in the half. Kohler gives it to Cecil. Cecil now down low to Moxie. Moxie hands it right back to Cecil. And now Paige Kohler on the left wing. Uses a screen from Jasmine Fern. Fern fakes a three, drives, stops, passes it out to Donahue. Now to Cecil. 5 on the shot clock. Her three's off. Longer rebound. And it's going to be a foul called on Jasmine Fern, as Fred Shamil is motioning to Fern to just shoot the ball, as she did have some space on the left wing before driving towards the basket. Allie Carlson brings it down the floor for Western. Now Wilkes gets it as Carlson gets it on the other side of the floor than she began. Harness in the left wing, trying to get by Jasmine Fern. Pass over to Richardson. Richardson to Wilkes. The Falcons double team. Starks on the left corner misses that three. Long rebound. Kohler fights with Carlson for it, and the Falcons will get the ball as they have the favor of the possession arrow. .2:13 to go in the half. Still 27-19. Kendall Moxie, right elbow. Gives it to Donahue. Donahue backs down inside. Lost her footing. And a turnover for the Falcons. As both teams have a dozen turnovers. Bowling Green has one more than that with 13, as it has been a poor offensive showing for both teams. Jasmine Fern falls over while Richardson drives to the basket, and now Bowling Green forces a turnover as Kendall Moxie came away with the ball underneath. In transition, Paige Kohler hands it off to Fern. Fern thought about a three, didn't shoot it. Now Bland Fitzpatrick drove, then went back outside. Then the left side of the basket, just misses that layup. Rebound underneath. Two Falcons fought for the ball together and fall to the floor. And it heads out of bounds. The Falcons continue to make substitutions as Layla Harrison comes in for Joniah Bland Fitzpatrick. Western Michigan hasn't scored in over 3 minutes now as Harness dribbles it around the perimeter. Over to Starks. Starks dribbles, drives towards the right side of the basket. And Emily Cecil is charged with a blocking foul. Cecil getting minutes here in the latter half of the second quarter. Only a minute 14 left in the half. Starks drives left side of the basket, has her shot blocked, but they call a foul. It's going to be on Kendall Moxie, it appears. And Jaden Cook will sub into the game for Kendall Moxie. Kylie Starks hits the first free throw. only 66% on the season. Starks played under head coach Kate Ochter a year ago at Detroit Mercy and followed her to Kalamazoo for the Broncos. She hits the second free throw as well, as it's 27-21. Bowling Green still leading. Now Kohler's pass is tipped. Layla Harrison's pass is tipped. The ball is on the floor and a jump ball. And Western Michigan should have the basketball due to the possession arrow, as Paige Kohler threw a pass, had it tipped. Harrison threw the ball right back, and it was tipped again, and it became a 4 or 5 player brawl for the basketball. Blaine Fitzpatrick will sub back in for Jasmine Fern for the Falcons, as just a minute to go in the half. Allie Carlson dribbles it right side of the floor. Now passes outside to Mary Claire. Claire to Starks. Starks drives right side of the basket, finishes it strong, and one. Kylie Starks another trip to the free throw line as she fought through the contact of Layla Harrison. Kylie Starks, 10.9 points per game, is leading Western Michigan so far this season. She's playing just under 29 minutes in each contest, as the free throw is good, 27-24. Bowling Green grasping onto their lead. Now down the floor, Jaden Cook passes it to Jasmine Fern on the right wing. Fern misses that three. Long rebound. Allie Harness brings it down the floor. 5 seconds between the shot and game clock. Now Claire over to Carlson as the Broncos try to set up the offense. Wilkes sets a screen. Ball's then swung over to Harness. Harness to Starks. Starks going strong to the basket again, and she gets fouled. Another free throw trip for Kylie Starks. And Fred Shamil is bewildered at the call, as Jaden Cook, 6'3" for the Falcons, over the 5'7" Starks. Starks gets the call and makes another free throw. (27-25) now. Bowling Green holding on to a 2-point lead. Starks makes the second free throw, nothing but net. 27-26, only 15 seconds to go in the half, as Kendall Moxie and Emily Cecil come to the game for this final possession for Bowling Green. Kohler, with 7 on the clock, gets the screen from Moxie. Now pass it down low. Moxie had the ball tipped, went off her shoe, and another turnover for Bowling Green. 1.9 seconds left to go in the half. And Kiera Miller will come to the game for Jasmine Fern for Bowling Green. Mary Claire Brusek inbounding. Claire throws it into Carlson. Almost no time for a shot. And they call it halftime now, even though the ball went out of bounds, as Bowling Green leads Western Michigan 27-26 after this first half of play. Lots of back and forth action, lots of turnovers, and I'm sure Dan Breitenauer and Lucas Kleinmeyer will have a lot to say during our Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show, as you are listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BG Falcon Media is an organization encompassing student media organizations at Bowling Green State University. BG24 is the video component of Falcon Media that creates a weekly live newscast every Tuesday. All videos and live streams can be found on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel and website, or BG24's Twitter account. BG Falcon Media, empowering students with creative freedom by exploring technologies and focusing on audience engagement and service to our communities. Falcon Communications is the student-run public relations firm of BGSU Public Relations Student Society of America and BG Falcon Media. Those who join the firm create social media and feature story content for the BG News, BG24, WBGU FM, and the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. For each Falcon Media brand, Falcon Communication members help coordinate special events and create strategies for how to best market those events to the university community.
This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
And welcome inside the WBGU 88.1 FM studio here, where we got a little bit of halftime banter between myself, Dan Ridenour, and Lucas Kleinmeyer. So here we go, a very close Mid-American Conference game up in Kalamazoo. Bowling Green leading the Western Michigan Broncos 27-26 as we head into the second half of this women's basketball game.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, it's another one of those games where the offense just hasn't been clicking for either team. The three-point shots, though, for Bowling Green, I think is the main positive to take away from that first half. 5 for 12 shooting. Lauren Gherkin knocking down a couple big triples from beyond the arc. She leads the team with 8 points at the half. And they had a good first quarter, outscored them the Broncos 18-14, dominated them and rebounding, both offensively and defensively. But kind of not the end of the second quarter you wanted if you're head coach Fred Shamil. You lose 12-9 and you have all those turnovers and you lead a 7-0 Bronco run that final minute plus. And you go into halftime with the lead, just a 1-point lead, 27-26, but the momentum probably isn't on your side.
Well, exactly. And you get that last second foul call going on Jaden Cook. And then it looks like here, Lucas and I were just seeing it kind of on the screen, just looking at that. Coach Shamil not too thrilled about that, but really just it seems like they're kind of what we were talking about, the starting early. They had that, but it wasn't able to really continue for the Falcons. Still seeing some shooting troubles along the game, but also we're seeing some, highs and lows. Kaya Woods has been strong from the corners, going for the three-pointer. And then, I guess what else have you seen so far today, Lucas?
Well, Starks has done a good job for the Broncos. She leads the way with a game-high 14 points. And while 5 of them have come from the free throw line, she's been very effective, and that was a player that, like we talked about and Adam talked about pregame, that Octor brought over from Detroit Mercy to kind of lead the way for this new Western Michigan team. And, she had a really good second quarter, and that has been kind of the driver for this momentum switch. And I think probably the elephant in the room and the big thing is turnovers. 28 total turnovers in that first half, in that first 20 minutes of basketball, 15 for Bowling Green, 13 for Western Michigan. That's not good enough, and I don't think either Coach Shamil or Octor is going to be happy with that. If you look at the points off turnovers, though, however, this is where it gets, a little bit tricky. Just 7 points off of 13 Western Michigan turnovers for Bowling Green. But you look for Western Michigan, 15 points off of 15 turnovers. So Western Michigan has more than doubled points off of turnovers. I think that's been a huge key in the game and a huge key of how the Broncos have gotten back into this game. And I think the message for Shamil at the half is take care of the basketball better.
Absolutely. You got to take care of the ball. The turnovers. You talk about that a lot. We were mentioning it a little bit in the pregame show with Western Michigan, and that was their Achilles heel was the turnovers. And then, Bowling Green was more the shooting. But, BG is having their own source of turnovers. We're seeing a lot of rebounds going defensively, and it's going to be interesting to see where this will take us. Western Michigan looking for their 6th win of the season, where the BGSU Falcons are looking right back along, trying to get this going for their 10th for a decade to get this going back along. So we're going to play just a quick little advertisement and then get right back along to it. So don't go anywhere. You are listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Black Swan Players of Bowling Green is dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. Founded in 1965, the organization provides high-quality amateur live theater as well as opportunities to the cast, crews, and the viewing public. Visit blackswanplayers.org for more information.
This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
And thank you for that, Tyler. So welcome, everybody, to the WBGU 88.1 FM studio here on this Wednesday night. I'm Dan Ridenauer, joined alongside Lucas Kleinmeyer. So we just got right back into the swing of things here at halftime, a very close game where Bowling Green is playing Western Michigan. BG has the 1-point lead, 27-26. But Lucas, we talked a little bit just kind of over the turnovers, defensive rebounds. Are there any notable things that you've been seeing in this game?
Well, the turnovers were huge, and I want to build off of that just a little bit here before we go around the MAC. But the Broncos, again, is a team that has been struggling offensively, and they're still struggling. They're 8 for 23 shooting, shooting 27% from three, just making 3 triples from beyond the arc. But the reason why they're in this game and only down by a point are those turnovers they force Bowling Green to do. And sometimes it could be indecisive, either passing or indecisive shooting. Over dribbling has been a thing that has hampered this team a little bit in some games, especially that NIU game coming off. But again, for Bowling Green, the positives in that first half was the 3-point shooting, and that has not been something that has been a positive past couple of games. 5 for 12 is not bad at all. And I think if you can create more open looks, more opportunities, we saw Emily Cecil get an open look, knock down a big one. I mentioned Gherkin, inside. Kohler hit a 3 to start. She went a little bit cold afterwards. Kai Woods hit a 3 as well. It's been by committee from beyond the arc, which has been really good for Bowling Green. Moxie got a couple of big points in the paint as well. Will be interesting to see if they can dominate in the paint and get that to further their lead and not just have just a point. If you look at the points in the paint, Western Michigan just has a slight 10-8 advantage. But also, Moxie came off the bench to get those 4 points. The bench points for Bowling Green has 5 more, 7-2 in favor of the orange and brown. So I think that's something to kind of look out for as we get into the third, but also something that I noticed there in the first half of basketball.
Exactly, and we're going to take a look now at the Mid-American Conference, the greatest conference in all of college athletics, as we get this one going back along for some games right now, 4 of them, including Bowling Green and Western Michigan. As we've mentioned, that score is 27-26 in favor of the Falcons. Now the other 3 that are at halftime, NIU and that school up north, where the Huskies are trailing 35-22 in that one, whereas the other game now going back along, a bit of a in-state battle between the Ohio Bobcats and the Kent State Golden Flashes. Kent State has the 3-point advantage on that in the half, where Kent State is up 39-36. Then the final game at halftime currently is Eastern Michigan and Miami of Ohio, where the Redhawks have a 35-31 lead over Eastern Michigan. And then last but not least in games going on right now is Buffalo and Ball State, where Ball State has taken a commanding lead with 4:15 left in the third quarter. Ball State leading Buffalo 62-30. And then the game that wrapped up earlier is Massachusetts and Akron, where the Minutemen will get the victory over the Zips by a score of 82-68. So those are the games going on right now. And then, Lucas, we're going to bring you back into this, just the perspective of it. The 6, 7, and 8 teams right now in the conference, Bowling Green, that school up north, and then Western Michigan, looking how they are both 2-2 in MAC play. Western Michigan overall 5-9, BG 9-6, and then you have the 500 team of 7-7. So just seeing that gap almost, just how competitive do you think the conference is so far this season, and what is it going to take to kind of climb the ladder?
Well, I think there's been as much parity as ever, and the MAC's always been a parity conference, and I think that's why so many people love the Mid-American Conference, which makes it the greatest conference in the world, like you said. But this year, I think outside of Ball State, who are at the top of the MAC, I don't really think there's any other teams that people are kind of expected to be where they're at. Mm-hmm. Miami's been really good this year, and that's going to be a really good team. Bowling Green's got coming in town this Saturday, 12-4, undefeated in MAC play. The Bobcats are the same way. Next Wednesday, UMass was unknown because people just didn't know much about them before they came into the MAC. And like you mentioned, the school up north, they've been 500 on the year. We'll see if they hit their stride. I'm personally still waiting for Kent State to hit their stride. I know they're 6-10 and just 1-4 in MAC play. I'm not counting out a Todd Starkey team out until they're out. But on the other end, I think maybe, outside the Akrons and the Buffaloes of the world and potentially the NIUs, they might be, just might not have luck on their side this year. It might not just be the year. Buffalo went from winning the WNIT a couple of seasons ago and making a run to the MAC championship, MAC semifinals last year with Becky Burke too, being winless right now in MAC play. But I think people expected that because of how much they just lost. It's going to take them time to build it back up. Akron's been a team that has just struggled in the past couple of years. But, I think we talked about it, and I don't think there's anything else we can really say besides that, you got to grind out this result against these Broncos team. You got to get the 3-2 MAC play because of the next three you have coming up. It's good you have Miami this weekend and Ohio on Wednesday at home at the Stroh Center in front of your home fans, but then you have UMass on the road. And, it's tough teams. That's 3 of the top 4 teams in the MAC. So I think this conference has just as much parity as ever, which I think is going to make for a thrilling finish when we get towards the end of February and into March.
Exactly. You're 100% right on that, Lucas. I mean, you talk about just what it's going to take for Bowling Green right now. And really, too, just you got to build off that NIU game and get the momentum going. You fall to Central, you fall to Eastern, but you started off MAC play with a high note, and then you kind of take that away. But if you're able to get 2 MAC wins, going with Miami and then Ohio, that's going to be huge, especially since you're going to have to take the 695-mile trip up to Amherst to get that one going for you. It's really going to be just, a tight-knit group as well overall, and then just, see how the rest is going to take this. But, I mean, Ball State's currently, they're at the lead of the conference, Miami, Ohio, and then UMass not too far behind, and that's when you get more in-depth into the swing of things here. But overall, it's just so competitive, and I think really that's a big part of MAC basketball. And, I mean, you've been covering this team for, I believe, 3-4 years roughly. So just, your entire time here, looking at them too, just the rest of their schedule, and then you go into the Sun Belt and playing in that, it's really going to build the momentum here, and that's where it's going to start.
It is, and I think if they can pull away with this Broncos team, keep Starks from scoring, getting the hot hand, and get that win over Western Michigan and another what appears to be a low-scoring kind of defensive affair on the road. They had just had one at NIU. Now they're going to have one right now in Kalamazoo. We'll see how the second half unfolds, but there's other teams that can potentially jump them if they don't get the win because, like we mentioned, they're both 2-2 MAC play looking to get that third. They don't want to go 2-3 because of the stretch they have coming up. And then you also look at the losses they've had. Eastern Michigan, which is a team that I think has significantly improved, they're 1-3, and their only MAC win so far has come against Bowling Green. Is that a loss that you might look back on and say maybe that's one we shouldn't have taken because of how Eastern Michigan maybe finishes out? But if you're asking for my opinion and my personal analysis, I think Eastern Michigan is going to be in the MAC tournament in Cleveland by the time March happens. But we'll see. There's still a lot of season left. There's still a lot of games left. It's it's sports talk, and that's what we love to do.
That's 100% right. Eastern Michigan currently standing 9th in the Mid-American Conference. Let's take a quick break just between Lucas and myself and pause for station identification.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
And on that note, Lucas, that is going to wrap up our halftime show. We appreciate all of your support and everything, but it is time.
It's Duffin time.
It is Falcon time indeed. We're going to send it back to Adam Duffin in Kalamazoo. Adam, how's it going up north?
It's going great. Dan, thank you to you and Lucas for a great halftime show. And to play off the halftime show, Kylie Starks is leading Western Michigan with 14 points. The closest player is Allie Carlson with 6, and she hasn't scored since about halfway through the first quarter. Meanwhile, Bowling Green, led by Lauren Gherkin with her 8 points. She hasn't been scoring as efficiently as you would hope throughout the season, but so far 2 of 3 from the field, both 3-pointers, and has knocked down 2 free throws. She's trailed by Kaya Woods with 5, Kendall Moxie and Janea Donahue have 4, and Paige Kohler and Emily Cecil have 3. the main topic of the first half for both teams, turnovers. There were too many for both sides. Bowling Green with 15 turnovers in this game, 10 in that second quarter. And Western Michigan, 13 turnovers so far. Some travel violations, some miscues on passes. It's almost any type of turnover you think of. But now, coming out of half, Bowling Green will have the basketball going right to left. Wearing their all-orange uniforms to Western Michigan's white. As Kaya Woods brings it down the floor for Bowling Green. Pass it over to Paige Kohler. Kohler spins it out to Gherkin. Thought about a three. Instead, got it to Taya Ellis down low. Ellis hesitated. Ball is swung around. Lauren Gherkin, left wing, just has that three. Hit off the back iron. Allie Harness gets the ball for the Broncos and gives it to the fellow Allie, and Allie Carlson. Harness dribbles around, pass it to Richardson, to Starks, to Carlson. Carlson face guarded by Kaya Woods. Now Starks gets it, drove down the lane, had it tipped away from her by Donahue, but Taya Ellis ended up catching the ball out of bounds. Carlson inbounds underneath the basket. Over to Starks. Starks trying to find a pass down low. 4 in the shot clock. Starks still needs help. Now Carlson all the way from the logo. Just has it hit off back iron. Long rebound goes through Starks' legs. She gathers it. Now Wilkes makes a cross-court pass. Carlson, this three is good. Allie Carlson gives Western Michigan the lead, 29-27, as we are a minute through the third quarter. Paige Kohler uses a screen from Taya Ellis, now floats it towards Ellis as miscommunication as Ariana Wilkes tipped it away and out of bounds. However, Bowling Green will keep possession. Kaya Woods inbounding from underneath the basket on the left side. Finds Ellis. Ellis hesitates, gets inside, passes it back out. 7 on the shot clock. Kaya Woods uses the screen, drives hard to the basket. Kaya Woods with a tough finish there as the score is knotted back up at 29 apiece. Allie Carlson, 9 points now, bringing up the floor. All her points coming from beyond the arc. Harness drove left side, passed it back out to Richardson. Richardson misses, and Kaya Woods jumps up for the rebound, pushes it up the floor, hands it off to Kohler. Kohler thought about a deep three, instead drove and kicked it back out. Woods drives, stops, looks for a backdoor pass, instead takes a little mid-range shot, and Kaya Woods scores once again. Now up to 7 points. 31-29 Bowling Green with 7:30 to go in the quarter, and Lauren Gherkin tips away the pass down low that was intended for Wilkes. The Broncos still have possession. 17 on the shot clock. Carlson inbounds to Wilkes. Wilkes couldn't corral it, and it goes out of bounds as both teams still not having the smoothest operations on offense to start the second half. Kohler uses a screen from Ellis, passed it to Donahue on the left wing. Donahue drove towards the free throw line, gave it to Kaya Woods. Now Woods passed to Ellis. Ellis trying to back down low. 7 on the shot clock. The band getting loud. Kaya Woods drives, just can't finish down low. Taya Ellis fought for the rebound, and Allie Harness got it. Ball is moved up the floor for Western Michigan. Allie Carlson drives, left side of the basket, has a nice left-handed layup. And it's tied back up at 31 each, just under the 7-minute mark in the third quarter. Donahue to Gherkin to Kohler. Kohler drives, can't get downhill. Bowling Green continues to move the ball. Gherkin, left corner. Lauren Gherkin hits a three, her third of the game. and she's the first Falcon into double figures as she now has 11. (34-31), Bowling Green regained the lead on that shot as Allie Carlson knocked over Kaya Woods. No foul called on either side. Now Harness gets stopped by Ellis. Ball is swung towards Carlson. Now Harness with 3 on the shot clock. A running floater, and it's swatted away by Lauren Gherkin with only 1 left on the shot clock. Lauren Gherkin came flying in and swatted Harness's shot. Now with only 1 on the shot clock, the Broncos have to do a catch and shoot. It's in quickly to Starks, and she misses a ball that was placed right under the basket. And the layup just off target. Bowling Green survives that possession as Kaya Woods used the screen, can't get anywhere around it. Uses another screen before giving it to Donahue. Gherkin fires away from the right corner, and Lauren Gherkin has her 4th 3 of the ball game. 14 points now for Lauren Gherkin. Allie Harness gets it over to Carlson in the corner. That's missed. No chance for Kaya Woods to box out Wilkes down low. And the second chance 3 is good by Allie Harness. (37-34), Bowling Green holding on to a 3-point lead as we approach the 5-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Lauren Gherkin thought about a 3 in the left corner as she is the hot hand for the Falcons. Kohler trying to set up Gherkin still. 8 on the shot clock. Kohler did a give and go with Ellis before driving inside. Now passes out to Donahue. 1 on the shot clock. Kohler gets it off and hits a 3. It appears they're going to count it as the official motioned for a second, as if she wanted a review. 40-34 for the moment, as Donahue poked it away, gets it up to Kaya Woods. Bowling Green in transition. Woods, no look pass to Kohler. Kohler gets fouled, and we'll have a trip to the free throw line. Now we will head to a media timeout as Paige Kohler's 3. It looked like the official wasn't sure if she got it off in time. I believe they are going to the monitor to review it. But this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. Bowling Green 40, Western Michigan 34. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Wake up with a Northwest Ohio favorite, The Morning Show with Clint Corp. Every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM. Clint brings you local news, BGSU happenings, and community events that matter, all from a voice that's trusted and respected across the region. Start your day connected, informed, and in tune with your community. WBGU 88.1 FM, Northwest Ohio's community radio station. The BG Ideas podcast is now broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM. The BG Ideas podcast features the director of the Study of Culture and Society at Bowling Green State University and other guest speakers as they talk with academics, artists, activists, and other professionals about the amazing interdisciplinary work being done in and around the university. The BG Ideas podcast, available Thursdays from 11 to midnight on Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to Kalamazoo as Bowling Green holds on to a close lead, 37-34, as Paige Kohler, the three-pointer she made before the break, is taken off the board, as they say she made it after the shot clock had gone off. However, a possession later, Kohler did earn herself a trip to the free throw line, so she will take free throws with 4:20 left in the third quarter, trying to regain some of those lost points. As Kohler, only 3 points in the contest, makes the first free throw. She is 1 of 6 from the field and 1 of 3 from beyond the arc, with 3 rebounds and assists in her 25 minutes. And she hits the second free throw. Up to 5 points now, and it's 39-34 Bowling Green. Magaira passes it over to Harness. Harness gives it to Mary Claire. Claire swung it around before it was stolen away by Taya Ellis. Paige Kohler gives it to Nate Donahue. Donahue, cross-court pass to Ellis. Ellis hands it off to Gherkin. Gherkin shoots the three, and they're going to say she stepped out of bounds, I believe, when catching that ball from Ellis, as they were jumbled up in the corner. Another Bowling Green turnover. Magaira spins away from Kohler. Did a dribble handoff before Harness got it. Magaira to Harness. Harness drives the basket. Little running floater, misses that one. Quickly in transition, Kaya Woods. Bounce pass to Kohler, and Kohler loses it out of bounds. A big hit there on Kylie Starks underneath the basket. And another Bowling Green turnover, their 17th now, and Western Michigan has 16. Down the floor, Carlson, pass it to Starks in the left corner. Now down low, Claire, guarded by Gherkin. Ball is swung around to Starks on the right wing. Harness uses a screen from Claire. Now handoff to Carlson. Carlson, pass to Starks, right wing. Starks short on that three. Rebounded by Donahue. Falcons up by 5 with 3 to go in the third. Donahue, dribble, handoff, fake. Cross it over to Gherkin, then to Woods. Woods goes to the basket, gets fouled, and just misses a chance at an and one. Kaya Woods, 9 points so far, can join Gherkin in the double-digit scoring club for this match. As Kaya Woods, third leading scorer for Bowling Green on the season, as she hits the first one, averaging 8 points per game. She did miss the first 2 contests with a knee injury, but has come back strong and hits the second free throw. 41-34. Bowling Green leading, as they have been able to get it going on offensively a little more in the third quarter. Kaya Woods almost had a steal, but couldn't stay in bounds as she swatted away from Carlson. Richardson will inbound. The Broncos have 20 on the shot clock. Still plenty of time, but the ball was swatted away by Donahue now. And there will be another inbound right in front of me as Starks inbounds it to Carlson. Gets the ball right back on the right wing. Good pass down low to Wilkes, but Wilkes just had her right foot on the baseline. Another turnover for the Broncos. 2:23 on the clock in the third quarter. Paige Kohler trying to get it going offensively. Uses a couple screens, then passes out to Donahue. Donahue fakes a pass, drives. Tay Ellis had to regather the ball. Now Kohler on the right wing for three. Hits that one. Paige Kohler gets the lead up to 10 for the Falcons. As things are clicking now in the third quarter, and it leads to a Western Michigan timeout. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. Bowling Green 44, Western Michigan 34. With 2 minutes to go in the third, you are listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
WBGU-FM is Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Check out bgfalconmedia.com for previews, recaps, photos, videos, and more of the Falcons.
Welcome back to Kalamazoo as Bowling Green leads Western Michigan 44-34 with a minute 55 to go in the third quarter. Bowling Green winning the third quarter so far 17-8 as Lauren Gherkin has 14 points. Kaya Woods with 11 and Paige Kohler now up to 8. For Western Michigan, Kylie Starks still stuck at 14 points on the night. Allie Carlson at 11. And Allie Harness with 5. No one else has more than 2 for the Broncos as both these teams come out of the timeout as Bowling Green, a nice run heading into that timeout, a 7-0 run over about the last 2:30 of play. And they have made 5 of their last 7 field goals as Bowling Green, the turnovers, 17 turnovers, is not going to cut it in most games. However, they have shot an impressive 8 of 17 beyond the arc. That's good for a little over 47%. That is an area they have struggled this season. They had a game not too long ago. They shot 1 of 16 from beyond the arc. So very much improved tonight as Kaya Woods, Joniah Blaine Fitzpatrick, Janea Donahue, Taya Ellis, and Paige Kohler are the 5 for Bowling Green. Woods guarding Carlson in the backcourt. Carlson looking for help, finds it in Kylie Starks. Falcons not making it easy. And Allie Carlson gets the ball, gives it right back to Starks. 12 on the shot clock. She drives left side of the basket, spins, double teamed. Ball is tipped and goes out of bounds. Western Michigan turns it over. Kaya Woods will be the one to bring it up the floor for Bowling Green. Donahue to Woods. Woods driving right side of the basket, stops. Can't get the backdoor pass to Kohler. Ball is eventually swung around to Kohler. She now drives, kicks to Woods. 5 on the shot clock. Woods from the free throw line hits that little mid-range shot. And Bowling Green, now their largest lead of the night, 46-34 with a minute in the third. Allie Harness passes it over to Richardson. Richardson gets the ball back after a couple passes. Now cross court to Harness, to Starks. Starks goes baseline, has her shot swatted by Blaine Fitzpatrick. Bowling Green in transition, led by Kaya Woods. Woods down low to Donahue, and Donahue gets the open layup. She almost lost it for a second, but regathered it for an easy layup. 48-34, 25 in the quarter. Carlson shoots off target, and now the Falcons have the ball with the shot clock off. 15 seconds now. Kaya Woods gives it to Kohler with 10. Now Woods with 5. Woods steps back, crosses over, had it stolen. Now a half-court heave for Carlson. Carlson has it go off target. Bowling Green with a great run to end the quarter. 11-0 run over the last 4 minutes in the quarter as they lead 48-34 after 3 quarters of play. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Millions of people all over the world go hungry, while we waste our land and water resources. Did you know that raising animals for human consumption uses 8 times as much water as growing fruits, vegetables, and grains? And that the same amount of land can produce 17 times more soybean protein than meat protein? For great vegetarian recipes, write People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. That's PETA, Norfolk, Virginia, 23510. Thanks.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
The premier community theater of Bowling Green is the Black Swamp Players. For over 50 years, Black Swamp Players has been dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. Visit blackswamplayers.org.
You are listening to Falcon basketball coverage live on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back as Bowling Green leads Western Michigan 48-34 after 3 quarters of play. I'm Adam Duffin, representing Falcon Media Sports Network here on WBGU 88.1. Covering women's basketball, but Falcon Media covers all Bowling Green athletics. BGFalconmedia.com for all sorts of athletic news and regular news as well. Falcon Media produces newspaper weekly. Coming in a couple weeks, you'll have a weekly edition of The Swoop, a 25-minute sports show. And this semester, they will be doing some live recordings, live streams of their shows. Now both teams come out of the timeout. Brusek passes it into Carlson. Carlson on the right wing. Passes it down low to Wilkes. Wilkes swung it out to Starks. Starks now to Harness. The Broncos are trying to find Wilkes again down low, and Donahue forces a jump ball, and it will be Bowling Green basketball. Donahue knotted it up with Wilkes down low as she was trying to shoot it, and Wilkes appears shaken up. Looks like she got hit towards the eye. Kohler bringing it down the floor as Bowling Green continues to be in control. Kohler in the right corner, passes it to Miller. Back to Kohler. Trying to find Donahue down low. Gherkin gets it top of the key. Gives it to Donahue. Donahue tries to drive right side, gets stopped. 4 on the shot clock. Donahue looking for help. Kiera Miller fires a 3, just misses that one. And rebounded down low by Wilkes. Wilkes gives it to Carlson. Carlson kicks it out to Starks. Starks fires a 3, just misses that one. Rebounded by Kiera Miller for Bowling Green. And Kohler goes quickly in transition. Hands it off to Miller. Miller drives to the basket from the left side, just misses the layup. And she's called for a charge as Wilkes stood in there and took the hit. And Fred Shamil joking that he wants a review, kind of mocking how Wilkes had fallen. Still 48-34, Bowling Green leading with 8:40 to go in the ball game. Wilkes drives to the basket and gets fouled as she went underneath the arms of Moxie. Ariana Wilkes going to the free throw line. Made a couple earlier, but shooting only 27% on the season in a limited capacity at the line. Hits that one. As she is now 3 for 3 in this game. Wilkes playing about 19 minutes a game and hits the second free throw. It got wedged on the rim and went in. 48-36. Bowling Green still leading by 12 with about 8:30 to go in the game. Kohler uses a screen from Gherkin and Moxie. Finds Gherkin at the top of the key. Ball is swung around. Donahue tries to drive. Crossover spin. Her defender fell. She didn't realize it. Miller drives, gives to Gherkin. 7 on the shot clock. Kohler in the right corner has it hit off the front of the rim softly and rebounded by Brusek. Harness looking for a screen, doesn't get it. Now Brusek sets a screen for Starks. Starks drives, off balance, just misses that one. Miscommunication between Kiera Miller and Paige Kohler. An easy offensive rebound and putback score. 48-38. Bowling Green's lead is dwindling. Kohler passes it to Moxie. Moxie to Donahue. Donahue towards the top of the key. Passes it to Gherkin, who gets shoved in the back and fouled by Brusek. Kaya Woods comes in the ball game for Kiera Miller. The fifth-year senior comes in for the only true freshman on the roster. Now Paige Kohler inbounds from underneath the basket. To Donahue, gets the ball right back. Creates some space. Now gives it to Kaya Woods. Woods to Donahue. Falcons still trying to find a way to get inside. Kohler backs down her defender, and an underneath reverse layup gets it done. Paige Kohler finding a crafty way to score. 50-38, 7 minutes to go. Carlson in transition hits a nice left-handed layup. Now 50-40. Bowling Green leading with 7 to go. Woods hands it off to Donahue. Donahue to Kohler. Gherkin gets the ball on the perimeter. Falcons continue to hand it off before Woods stops for a tough mid-range shot and one. Kaya Woods had her landing zone stopped, and the basket counts. As Carlson just got in the way. And Kaya Woods now leading the Falcons with 15 points. And she will miss the free throw short. And a foul underneath on Kendall Moxie as she reached for the rebound. Moxie had a double-double in back-to-back games. Now 4 points and a shocking 0 rebound performance in this one in her 14 minutes of action. Carlson brings it down the right side of the floor. Gives it to Brusek. Now to Starks. Starks finding a way to the right side of the floor. Give and go to Carlson. She faked a mid-range shot. Gave it to Starks. Starks goes strong down the right baseline. Bounced right off of Donahue and finished it with an easy layup. 52-42. Just over 6 to go in this one. Lauren Gherkin hands it off to Kohler. Kohler fires a 3 and hits that one. Paige Kohler from beyond the arc. Now up to 13 points, and it's 55-42 Bowling Green. Starks to Wilkes. Harness gives it back to Starks on the left wing, and a foul down low on Jaden Cook. Getting too physical with Ariana Wilkes. And now, timeout on the floor. It appears it was called by Western Michigan. And this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, proud creators of ale Ziggy Zumba Light Ale, made in collaboration with BG Athletics and available at Juniper Brewing Company on South Main Street in Northwest Ohio Kroger stores. Details at juniperbrew.com. 55-42 with 5:47 to go in the fourth. You are listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hello, this is Josh Aronson on BGSU Men's Soccer, and these are my Falcon 4 teammates that I'd bring on a cross-country road trip. First, I'll say Trace Terry, because he's the Ox man, you know, good vibes, good music, whole time cross country. Beto, because I've lived with him for 3 years, so I know he won't annoy me, and I know he'll be prepared for the trip too. B-Game, he'd plan a good trip, so that's probably why B-Game. And then the last one would be Jake Lane, you know, because energy the whole trip, you know, that'd be good for the vibes too.
Join the Zig Zone Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back, Adam Duffin calling this one as Bowling Green leads 55-42 over Western Michigan, as there's only 5:47 to go in this one. For Bowling Green, Kaya Woods has 15, Lauren Gherkin has 14, Paige Kohler has 13. Lauren Gherkin definitely the surprise of the three, as she is 4 or 6 from the field. All those shots were from three-point range, and she's also made 2 free throws in her 25 minutes of action. Janaea Donahue also adding 6 points for Bowling Green. And on the end for Western Michigan, Kylie Starks has 18 points. Allie Carlson has 13. No one else has more than 5, as kind of a top-heavy performance for both these teams. And it's been like that for the majority of the year for Bowling Green, with Kohler and Donahue leading the way scoring. Western Michigan, it's been a mixed bag. Kylie Starks has led with 10.9 points per game, but multiple other players close to averaging the same amount as her. As the teams come back on the floor, and they're waiting for the all-go from the TV break, as Western Michigan has the ball underneath the basket. Allie Carlson will inbound from underneath She passes in to Starks. Starks trying to look for Wilkes down low. Gherkin does a good job of defending, and a blocking foul on Janaea Donahue. She blocked Kylie Starks way to the basket. And Western Michigan will earn a trip to the free throw line. As they head into the bonus. Starks hits the first free throw. Now 19 points. Shooting 6 of 14 from the field, but now a perfect 7 for 7 from the free throw line and 20 points in the night. 55-44, Bowling Green still leading. Donahue gets it across court, passes it over to Kohler. Kohler takes it back out. Now crossover move, goes to the middle of the lane, has the ball taken away. Brusek passes it to Starks in the right wing. Starks goes to the basket, misses the layup underneath, and out of bounds. Western Michigan will get possession underneath the basket, and they still have 20 seconds on the shot clock. Carlson inbounds the ball to Starks. Starks started to think about the three, then drives left side of the lane. Her shot's too long. Jaden Cook got the rebound. Falcons bring it up the floor. Coach Shamil calling the plays. Lauren Gherkin thought about a three from the top of the key. Doesn't. 12 on the shot clock. Jaden Cook down low. Takes a tough shot and misses it. And Carlson will bring it quickly down the floor. Harness. Got it. Gives it back to Carlson. Now Starks. 18 on the shot clock. Drives right side. Cuts inside of Donahue, but missed the layup. Gherkin with the rebound. Gives it to Donahue. 4:25 in the game. Gherkin, open three, just misses the three. Jaden Cook gets the rebound. Fights underneath. Finds Kaya Woods. Woods fakes, drives, misses her shot. Cook gets the rebound again. Now out to Kohler. She thought about a deep three. Instead passes it down to Jaden Cook. Cook just has it swirl around the rim and in. Jaden Cook, 2 offensive rebounds and gets it in for the third chance points. 57-44, 4 minutes left in the game. And Allie Carlson responds with a little mid-range shot. Kohler gives it to Donahue across half court. And timeout, Bowling Green with 3:40 to go. As this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. 57-46, Bowling Green leading over Western Michigan. You are listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Black Swamp Players of Bowling Green is dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. Founded in 1965, the organization provides high-quality amateur live theater as well as opportunities to the cast, crews, and the viewing public. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person, regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. Visit blackswampplayers.org for more information.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
Now back to more Falcon basketball action live on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back as Bowling Green leads 57-46 over Western Michigan with 3:40 to go in this one. Adam Duffin, joined by Dan Ridenour and Lucas Kleinmeyer from the Cooling Center studio as the Falcons have possession. Donahue drives right side of the basket, spins, looks for help to Woods. 8 on the shot clock. Woods fires a three, misses that one. Tough rebound, and Taya Ellis couldn't get it. Carlson brings it down the floor. Starks, left corner, misses that three. Tough rebound. Taya Ellis got it and got fouled by Carlson. Throughout this game, a lot of turnovers, but a lot of physicality down low on these rebounds for both squads. Kohler pressured in the backcourt, looking for help. Gives it to Woods. Woods got it across half court as they try to speed up the Falcon offense, force some turnovers. Taya Ellis, as the clock goes under 3 minutes, passes it to Donahue. Donahue to Kohler. Kohler with 7 on the shot clock, drives baseline, reverse layup, doesn't have the angle, misses that one. Carlson brings it down the floor for Western Michigan. Pass over to Starks. Starks, stutter move, drive, kick. Over to Brusek on the right wing. Brusek hits that three. And now 57-49. The Falcons only lead by 8. Woods trapped towards the corner of half court. Got it to Ellis. Ellis to Donahue. Over to Gherkin. Gherkin fires a three. Has it go in and out. And out of bounds. Bowling Green keeps possession as Lauren Gherkin almost had her 5th three of the game, and it just rattled out. Fortunately for the Falcons, it was tipped and out of bounds, and they retained possession. Kaya Woods inbounds underneath, and Jaden Cook was trying to catch the inbound. She was fouled immediately going for it. Ariana Wilkes will pick up the foul. Bowling Green, they like to lob it underneath the basket on inbounds, and they do again to Jaden Cook. Cook catches, spins, hook shot, missed, and didn't hit the rim or backboard and falls out of bounds. 57-49 with 2:18 to go as Bowling Green's trying to hold on to the lead that they were able to carve out in the third quarter. Carlson brings it down the floor. Screen set for her by Wilkes. Carlson now gets fouled by Kaya Woods on her drive to the basket. And heading into the bonus, Western Michigan will have Allie Carlson head to the free throw line. She misses the first free throw as she shoots just under 68% on the season. She's averaging 8.6 points per game and leading the team with almost 5 assists and 1.6 steals per game, and hits the second free throw. 57-50 with 2:11 to go. Bowling Green trying to hold on. Paige Kohler in the backcourt, gives it to Donahue. Donahue pressured, cross-court pass to Kaya Woods. Woods gives it to Kohler, and Bowling Green will try to slow it down. Kohler lobs it into Kendall Moxie. Moxie spins, looking for a pass, finds Gherkin. 10 on the shot clock. Kohler calls for a screen from Moxie. Uses the screen, still looking for help. 3 on the shot clock. Gherkin stuck, gives it to Donahue. 1, and the shot clock expires. Another shot clock violation on Bowling Green. They still retain a 7-point lead and 1:40 to go, as time is an issue for the Western Michigan Broncos. Allie Carlson with 16 points in the night passes it to Stark. She has to save it from out of bounds. Swatted by Kohler. Donahue gets the ball up the floor. Now Gherkin in the right corner, looking for help, gives it to Kohler, and Donahue passes it to Woods. Woods drives, kicks. Gherkin, right wing. Lauren Gherkin had it roll around and hit every part of the rim and not go in. And now an offensive foul underneath on Kendall Moxie. Fred Shamil can't believe it. And with Western Michigan in the bonus, they'll get free throws as Lauren Gherkin's shot spun all the way around. And before that chaotic possession, Paige Kohler dove and saved the ball from out of bounds, knocked a fan over, and his popcorn flew all over the place just behind the front row. Ariana Wilkes hits the first free throw, cutting BG's lead down to 6. Wilkes, perfect 5 for 5 from the line tonight. That's how she's gotten all 5 of her points. Deep breaths for the second free throw. And it goes in. Ariana Wilkes overcoming the free throw struggles in this one. A perfect 6 for 6. 57-52, Bowling Green leading with 1:05. Kaya Woods drives baseline, kicks it out to Donahue. Donahue to Gherkin. Donahue gets it back. Clock under a minute. 15 on the shot clock. Kohler to Woods. Woods spins, lost controls, and gets fouled. She was getting close to committing a travel, but she got fouled by Allie Harness. And Kaya Woods will head to the free throw line as both teams are now in the bonus. Woods, 15 points, shooting 6 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and now 2 of 3 from the line with 2 big free throws coming up. The first free throw falls short. Western Michigan on an 8-0 run currently. Kaya Woods, second free throw, no good as well, and rebounded underneath. A quick timeout by Western Michigan. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. Bowling Green, 57, Western Michigan 52, with 48.8 to go in this one, as those 2 missed free throws from Kaya Woods could haunt the Falcons. She's now 2 of 5 on the game. And Bowling Green overall 8 for 12 from the free throw line. Western Michigan has taken advantage of their trips to the charity stripe, 14 of 15 on the night. And both teams have a staggering 20 turnovers in this one. Kaya Woods still leading the Falcons with 15 points, trailed by Gherkin's 14. And Paige Kohler also at 13 points. Kylie Starks still at 20, and Allie Carlson with 16 for the Western Michigan Broncos. Now, coming out of the timeout, Western Michigan will have possession. And with a basket of any kind, a 2 or 3-pointer, it will cut it to a 1-possession game, as Bowling Green, it looked like they were going to potentially cruise towards the end, and Western Michigan has turned on the afterburners. An 8-0 run. Bowling Green, one of their last 10 from the field, have given the Broncos away back into the game. Brusek gets the inbound. Looking for help, gives it to Carlson. Carlson drives left side. Can't find an opening, passes it down low to Harness. Harness spins, shoots, misses that close shot. Tough rebound, and Bowling Green basketball for the moment, as timeout called by Bowling Green head coach Fred Shamil, as this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. It's only a 30-second timeout, so we'll continue to stay with you. I'm Adam Duffin, representing Falcon Media Sports Network, as Bowling Green still trying to hang on in this one. It was close when the ball was tipped out of bounds. I believe it was Bland Fitzpatrick in the area. But I don't think there's any change of mind from the officials on the call, as Bowling Green still will have the basketball. leading by 5 with 35.1 to go in this game. Paige Kohler will be the inbounder. She gets it into Donahue. Donahue quickly fouled, and she'll head to the free throw line. Donahue hasn't had a lot of success from three-point range, only shooting 25%, but she is an 82% free throw shooter, and so far is 2 for 3 tonight. And I'm sure the Falcons would love if she would hit one or both of these free throws to give themselves a little more of a cushion. Donahue's first free throw is good. 58-52 now, and she moves up to 7 points on the night. Donahue's second free throw as the crowd gets into it even more. She hits that one as well. 59-52, 32 seconds. Carlson brings it up the floor. Western Michigan trying to go for one last run here. Wilkes steals a pass away from Harness, and then Carlson drives the basket. Reverse layup is good, cutting the lead down to 5. 20.6 seconds, and now a timeout is called as Kohler motion for one and Western Michigan motion for one. We'll see who gets credit with the timeout. And while the timeout's going on, it's sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, proud creators of ale Ziggy Zumba, a late ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics and available at Juniper Brewing Company on South Main Street in Northwest Ohio Kroger stores. Details at juniperbrew.com. 59-54 with 20.6 seconds left. Bowling Green has possession. They are in the bonus. It's a simple game of inbound the ball, make at least one free throw, and they should be able to come away with this one. Bowling Green 9-6, Western Michigan 5-9. Both teams 2-2 MAC play. Looking at that, you would favor Bowling Green, but the MAC is a conference of parity and always competitive. And Kate Ocker, Western Michigan head coach, always making her teams competitive. As the ball is inbounded to Lauren Gherkin, and she'll get a trip to the free throw line. 14 points as she's 4 of 9 from three-point range and made 2 free throws. Also 4 rebounds in her 30 minutes of action as she will head to the line for some big free throws. Shania Bland-Fitzpatrick waiting to sub in. Gherkin makes the first free throw, pushing the lead up to 6. And Gherkin's second free throw is no good. And in the backcourt, Kylie Starks travels, and Bowling Green gets possession again. In the backcourt, Donahue gets it and gets fouled. As Donahue, another trip to the free throw line, 8 points. She can be the 4th Falcon to reach double figures in this game. First free throw, no good as it rattled out. Donahue in this one, 3 steals as well. Trying to at least make it 1 of 2 and extend it to a 3-possession lead. Donahue misses, still 6-point lead, and another timeout by Western Michigan, as this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. We'll take a quick 30-second break, 60-54. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
premier community theater of Bowling Green is the Black Swamp Players. For over 50 years, Black Swamp Players has been dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. BSP is a nonprofit organization whose volunteer membership is open to any person regardless of age, religion, sexual orientation, or race. For more information or to volunteer, visit blackswampplayers.org.
Welcome back as Bowling Green leads Western Michigan 60-54. I'm Adam Duffin here, calling it solo from Kalamazoo, as Kylie Starks will inbound for Western Michigan with 15 seconds left. Starks, little give-and-go action, pass it over to Carlson. Carlson trying to find an open shot, passes it down low, swatted away, tipped repeatedly by Tay Ellis, and Ellis gets the ball and foul. Now 5.3 seconds left, and Ellis heading to the free throw line. Bowling Green all but has this game wrapped up, as Tay Ellis and Ariana Wilkes were swatting at the ball like it was a volleyball set. And Ellis hits the first free throw, making it a 7-point lead and her first point of the game in her 19 minutes of action. Ellis misses the second free throw. 3 seconds left. Allie Carlson, one last shot. It falls short, as Bowling Green survives a late surge from Western Michigan, 61-54. And don't leave just yet, as I will be joined by assistant coach Katie Hepfling and our BG Falcon Media food and drink guide player of the game, Lauren Gherkin, as she had 15 points in tonight's matchup. But for a few moments, I'll send it to Dan and Lucas in the Cooleen Center. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Wake up every weekday with WBGU and The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a community resource for weekly events, news, sports, weather, interviews with community officials and organizations, birthday and anniversary announcements, and more. The Morning Show broadcasts live Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from the Cooleen Center at Bowling Green State University. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Don't miss The Morning Show on WBGU FM every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. Join the Morning Show team weekday mornings to hear about local news, local weather reports, community programming, financial market reports, coaches show with coaches from BGSU and BGHS, and live newsmaker interviews. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
And we're back, everybody, to the WBGU 88.1 FM studio. Just wanted to say hi real quick I'm Dan Ridenour, joined alongside Lucas Kleinmeyer, and here we are. Bowling Green, led by the number 10, has secured their 10th win of the season, and we're going to get more in-depth to that in just a moment. The Falcons will be 10-6, 3-2 in conference play, but we're going to take a quick pause for station identification.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
And now you know who you're listening to. That is correct. That's shout out to Nate Hinners for doing the read with that. I'm Dan Ridenour, joined alongside Lucas Kleinmeyer again. I'm going to stop yapping now, and we're going to send it on over to Lucas.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Well, big win there for the Falcons. Again, is it the shooting performance they've wanted? Nope, they don't care. That's back-to-back defensive wins on the road where your defense completely shut out the opposing team in the second half, especially in the third quarter. That was a monstrous third quarter for Fred Schimmel's team. Only holding Western Michigan to just 8 points, getting 21 points in the third quarter. And a lot of it was led, like you mentioned, by Paige Kohler, who finished it with a Baker dozen points with 5 rebounds as well. But Lauren Gherkin, and I know we'll hear about Lauren Gherkin post-game. I mean, 15 points for her, grabbing 4 boards as well. Kai Woods and Gherkin both tied for the team lead in 15 points. Woods, a big performance for her, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Donahue again, just below double-digit in points with 8, but 5 rebounds, 5 assists, for her. And obviously another big defensive performance for her once again. And I think the past couple of games it's been a full team performance, but now you've seen Gherkin and Kohler and Woods really step up this game and get a big win. They held Starks to just 6 points in that second half, which I think is monstrous. She finished with a game-high 20, making all of her free throws 7 for 7 from the line as well. But, holding a star player like her in the second half, I think was, in my opinion, the big difference in the game. It was complete lockdown defensively, and Bowling Green did very well to make their shots when they needed to.
Well, and it appeared too, Lucas, that the Bowling Green defense kind of, as you mentioned, maybe not even the starting early, because that was the big key we had coming into today was, getting that start early, getting hot. But you shifted over to the defensive side, and, we saw that in the second half where while it may have not gone in their favor to begin with, it did end up going that way. And, Bowling Green just a real strong performance. You want to talk about Kohler, Woods, and then Gherkin were the big 3 tonight. And then also you kind of got to throw Donahue into the mix as well, just with her defensive performance. And a team like Western Michigan's got to be looking out for her. They're struggling with the turnovers, and no better person gets those turnovers than Janaea Donahue.
Indeed. And Donahue's been monstrous all season long for Bowling Green. And the Falcons did well to kind of survive that kind of late surge for Western Michigan. It was not maybe towards the end, second half of the fourth quarter that Schimmel maybe had hope for, but they held them off. They went to the free throw line a couple of times, made most of them. Western Michigan, when they got a timeout, took a couple of shots, they couldn't get them to fall. But I do believe we have Coach Kitty Hempfling standing by.
That is correct. We're going to send it now on over to our good friend in Adam Duffin. So, Adam in Kalamazoo, I hear you have a very special guest. How's it going, Adam?
And for us defensively, I think that's what we can really hang our hat on. And, we still work every single day. And I think it's super important to be able to execute a defensive game plan, and then the offense will come with it.
Coach Haiti for the win.
That was good from Kaya there, and congratulations on the win, and best of luck on Saturday against Miami.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, that will do it here from Kalamazoo, as there is a long 2.5-hour drive back tonight through some of the snow. So everybody listening, hope you stay safe tonight and tomorrow morning through some of the chaotic weather hitting the Midwest. That will do it here, as I'm Adam Duffin. You were listening to women's basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. This is a Falcon Media Sports Network studio update.
And thank you for the introduction, Tyler. We just wrapped up with Adam Duffin in Kalamazoo. Bowling Green will get their first win in MAC play in the state of Michigan. I'm Dan Ridenauer, joined alongside Lucas Kleinmeyer. We are going to just wrap things up here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio in the MAC. So, Lucas, just going to kind of see your opinion on this overall. What does this game mean for MAC play?
Well, I think Lauren Gherkin kind of summed it up with Kitty Hempfling as well. It's kind of like, you did your job on the road. You went in against a good Western Michigan team, had a good defensive performance, knocked down a couple of big shots, held them off then towards the end of that fourth quarter, and then it's on to the next one. I mean, you heard Gherkin mention it. Miami is a very big test coming up this Saturday at the Stroh Center. Should be a very big game. Probably the biggest game so far this season, at least at home. Miami just beat Eastern Michigan. I know you'll have more from around the MAC, Dan. But this is a stretch coming up where if you can get 2 of the 3 in Miami, Ohio, and UMass, I think you're going to be setting yourself up for a pretty good run here. Yeah, again, this is a tough stretch coming up for the team, but if you want a MAC championship, if you want to contend for the title, if you want to make a deep run MAC tournament, guess what you got to do? You got to beat really good teams and tough teams. And, Ohio, Miami have been kind of a little bit of a surprise team this year, maybe more so Ohio. But, the Redhawks come to town Saturday, and it's not the men's team. It's not the undefeated Miami Redhawks men's team coming to town. It's the women's team that is still very good, but we'll see if they can get it done.
Well, and speaking of the Miami Redhawks, down at Millett Hall in Oxford, Ohio, they will get a victory over the Eastern Michigan Eagles. That final score is 69-55. Some more Mid-American Conference games going around. The University of Massachusetts Minutemen will defeat the Akron Zips 82-68. That school up north will defeat the Northern Illinois Huskies 70-49. This game here that you were listening to on 88.1 FM, Bowling Green will get the 61-54 victory, and the largest difference in the scores for the biggest blowout of the MAC this night, you could say Ball State will defeat Buffalo 103-61, marking their stamp at the top of the conference. But we did, Lucas, see a team tonight receive their first conference loss of the season. Kent State, the Golden Flashes, will defeat the Ohio Bobcats 71-68. That's going to be huge, considering that will be Ohio's 5th loss of the season, their first loss in conference play. And going to be interesting to see, too, Kent State kind of near, they're the 3rd to last team in the conference. This is their 2nd conference win. So looking at the standings right now, in the MAC, Ball State will be 6-0, continuing onward. They're going to be in first place. Miami continues their undefeated streak. Ohio going to fall to 4-1, be tied with the University. Actually, no, they will go behind the University of Massachusetts because UMass will go 5-1. BG is going to be 4-2 in conference play. CMU is going to stay the same in their conference record since they didn't play tonight. Then you're going to see that school up north go to 3-2, just like BG. Western Michigan will fall to 2-4. Northern Illinois will go to 2-3. Eastern Michigan will go to 1-5. Kent State 2-4. Akron going to continue just right along, yet to win a game this year. They will be 0-5. And then last but not least, Buffalo will be 0-6. So that's the games that you saw from tonight. That is the finalized Mid-American Conference standings as of this Wednesday night. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, on WBGU 88.1 FN. I've been Dan Ridenauer, joined alongside Lucas Kleinmeyer. Stay safe out there on those icy roads, and have a great night, everybody.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconmedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.